I'm Grace, 22 years old, and 2 weeks ago I collapsed on stage in front of 3,000 people. On the day I was supposed to give the valedictorian speech, the doctor said I had a brain tumor. They needed to operate immediately. They called my parents. No one answered. 3 days later, when I finally woke up surrounded by beeping machines and 4 tubes, the first thing I saw wasn't my family's worried faces. It was an Instagram post from my sister, the whole family smiling in front of the Eiffel Tower with the caption, "Family trip in Paris." Finally, no stress, no drama. I said nothing. I didn't comment. I didn't call to confront them until 65 missed calls from Dad appeared on my screen along with one text. "We need you. Answer immediately." That's when I realized they weren't calling because they missed me. They were calling because they needed something else entirely. Before I continue, if you find this story worth hearing, please take a moment to like and subscribe, but only if you genuinely want to hear how this ends. And if you're watching right now, drop a comment telling me where you're from and what time it is there. Now, let me take you back 4 weeks ago to the day everything started falling apart. 4 weeks before graduation, I'm standing in my childhood kitchen watching Mom flip through wedding magazines. Not for me, for Meredith. My older sister just got engaged, and suddenly the entire house revolves around her timeline. "Grace, can you pick up the napkin samples from the printer tomorrow?" Mom doesn't look up. Meredith's too busy with dress fittings. "I have finals, Mom." "You'll manage. You always do. That's the thing about being the reliable one. Everyone assumes you'll just handle it." I've been handling things for 4 years now, working 25 hours a week at a coffee shop while maintaining a 4.0 GPA, paying my own tuition through scholarships and tips. Meanwhile, Meredith's entire education was funded by our parents. Every semester, no questions asked. "Mom, I actually wanted to talk to you about graduation. I need something to wear for the ceremony. Maybe we could go shopping this weekend." Mom finally looks up. "Sweetie, you're so good at finding deals online. I'm sure you'll figure something out. I need to focus on your sister's engagement party. But graduation is Grace." Her tone sharpens. "Your sister is bringing her fiancé's parents. Everything needs to be perfect." Later that evening, I hear Mom on the phone. "Oh, the graduation. Yes, she's valedictorian. Can you believe it?" A pause. "But honestly, the timing is terrible. Meredith's engagement party is that same week, and that takes priority." Grace understands. She's always been so independent. Independent. That's the word they use when they mean forgettable. That night, I call the only person who's ever asked how I'm actually doing. Grandpa Howard picks up on the second ring. "Gracie, I was just thinking about you." For the next 20 minutes, I actually talk about my thesis, about the speech I've rewritten 6 times, about how terrified I am. "Grace," Grandpa says, "do you have your dress yet? Shoes? Do you need anything?" My throat tightens. "I'm fine, Grandpa, really. I'll be there, front row. I wouldn't miss it for the world." He pauses. "And Grace, I have something for you, a gift. Your grandmother wanted you to have it when you graduated." Before I can ask what it is, Meredith bursts into my room without knocking. "Grace, did you use my dry shampoo?" "I don't use your stuff, Meredith." She rolls her eyes, flashes her engagement ring. "Whatever. Oh, congratulations on the valedictorian thing, I guess." Then she's gone. 1 week before, my head has been pounding for 3 days straight. I tell myself it's stress. Mom calls while I'm wiping down tables at the coffee shop. "Grace, I need you home this weekend. The engagement party is Saturday, and I need help with setup." "Mom, I'm working. Call in sick. Meredith needs you." "What about what I need?" Silence. Then Grace, "Don't be dramatic. It's one weekend. Your sister only gets engaged once. And I only graduate once, I think. Valedictorian. 4 years of perfect grades while working myself to exhaustion." But I don't say that. I never say that. That night, I have a nosebleed that won't stop for 15 minutes. I tell myself it's the dry air. My best friend Rachel shows up with Thai food and a worried expression. "You look like death." "Thanks. Love you too." "When's the last time you slept?" Actually slept. She crosses her arms. "Grace, you're destroying yourself for people who won't even show up to your graduation." "They're coming. Are they?" Rachel's voice softens. "Babe, in 4 years they haven't come to a single award ceremony. Not one." My eyes sting. I blink rapidly. The engagement party I've been on my feet for 6 hours setting up. The backyard looks stunning. White lights, a 3-tiered cake, 40 guests in cocktail attire. No one asks about my graduation. Meredith is holding court near the fountain. "Everyone, this is my little sister. Grace does everything around here. She pulls me into the spotlight. She's so good at, helping. She's going to be a teacher. Can you imagine? Wiping noses for a living. Laughter. Oh, and she's graduating next week. Veil. Something. What's it called again? Valedictorian, I say quietly. Right. That. Meredith waves her hand. She's always been the smart one. But smart doesn't buy Louis Vuitton, does it? More laughter. I excuse myself to the kitchen. After the party, I'm alone washing dishes. Mom walks in, face flushed with wine. Grace, I have wonderful news. We're going to Paris, the whole family. Tyler's treating us to celebrate the engagement. Paris, when? Next Saturday. We fly out Friday night. My hands stop in the soapy water. Mom, my graduation is Saturday. I know, sweetie, but the flights were already booked. You're so self-sufficient. You don't need us there. I'm valedictorian, Mom. I have to give a speech, and you'll be wonderful. You don't need us the way your sister does. Dad appears in the doorway. Grace, your mother and I discussed it. Meredith needs family support right now. And graduating valedictorian isn't a big life change. You're strong, Dad says. You don't need us the way your sister does. The room tilts. I need to go. That night, I wake up at 3 a.m. with the worst headache of my life. Blood, my nose is bleeding again. Heavy this time. It won't stop. 15 minutes, 20. Finally, it slows. I should see a doctor, but graduation is in 3 days. I swallow more ibuprofen and tell myself, 3 more days. I can survive 3 more days. If you've ever felt invisible to the people who were supposed to love you most, if you've ever been the one everyone relies on, but no one actually sees, comment invisible below. I see you. I was you. And if you want to know what happened at my graduation, what really happened when I stepped onto that stage, stay with me. Because the next part, I'll never forget it, as long as I live. Graduation morning. I wake up to a text from Mom. Just landed in Paris. Have a great graduation, sweetie. So proud of you. Attached is a selfie, the whole family at the airport. Meredith pouting for the camera. Dad giving a thumbs up. Mom smiling like she doesn't have a care in the world. I don't respond. Rachel picks me up at 9. She takes one look at me and frowns. Grace, you're gray. Like actually gray. I'm nervous. It's fine. The campus is buzzing. Families everywhere. Balloons, flowers, proud parents snapping photos. In the staging area, I see Grandpa in the front row, already waiting. He waves. In his hands, a manila envelope. I wave back. For the first time all week, I can breathe. Grace Donovan, a stage manager, approaches. You're up in 10 minutes. 3,000 people. The sun is blazing. And now our valedictorian, Grace Donovan. Applause. I walk to the podium, find Grandpa in the crowd. He's beaming. Rachel is next to him, phone out, recording. 2 empty seats beside them, reserved for family. No one claimed them. I clear my throat. Thank you all for being here today. I stand before you not just because of grades, but because of the people who believed in me. The words are there. I've practiced them 1,000 times, but something is wrong. The stage tilts. My vision narrows. Pain explodes behind my eyes. White hot, blinding. The microphone slips. I see Grandpa's face, confusion turning to horror. I see Rachel standing up. I see the 2 empty seats. And then I see nothing. My body hits the stage floor. Somewhere far away, people are screaming. Call 911. Get a doctor. Someone call her family. Hands on my face. Rachel's voice shaking. Grace, can you hear me? Grandpa's weathered hand gripping mine. I'm here, sweetheart. I'm here. The last thing I hear is a stranger's voice. We're calling her parents now. Does anyone have their number? They won't answer, I think. Then I'm gone. The hospital. This part 1 didn't witness. Rachel told me later. The ambulance took 14 minutes. I was unconscious the entire time. At the hospital, CT scan, MRI. The neurosurgeon's face got grimmer with each result. Brain tumor, he told Rachel and Grandpa, pressing on her frontal lobe. We need to operate immediately, within the hour. Rachel pulled out my phone, found my parents' number. First call, straight to voicemail. Second call, voicemail. Third call, voicemail. Please, Rachel begged into the phone. Grace is in the hospital. It's an emergency. Call us back. Nothing. Grandpa tried next. Douglas picked up on the 5th ring. Dad, we're at the airport, about to board. Grace collapsed at graduation. She has a brain tumor. She's in surgery in 40 minutes. Silence. Then, Dad, we're about to take off. Can you handle things? We'll call when we land. Grandpa's face turned to stone. Your daughter is about to have emergency brain surgery, and you're asking me to handle it? Dad, the flight is 12 hours. By the time we get back, she'll be out of surgery anyway. There's nothing we can do from here. A long pause. Douglas, if you get on that plane, don't bother calling me again. But Douglas did get on that plane. They all did. Grandpa signed the consent forms. When they wheeled me into surgery, I had two people waiting. My grandfather and my best friend. My family was 30,000 feet in the air, choosing Paris over me. 3 days later, I wake up to white walls. Grandpa asleep in a chair beside my bed, still wearing the suit from graduation. Rachel curled up on a cot in the corner. I try to speak. My throat feels like sandpaper. Rachel stirs, sees me. Grace. She's at my bedside in seconds, tears streaming. Oh my God, Grace. Grandpa wakes. My girl, my brave girl. What happened? They exchange a look. You had a brain tumor, Rachel says carefully. They removed it. You're going to be okay. My parents? Another look. Rachel hands me the phone. I open Instagram. Posted 18 hours ago, my entire family in front of the Eiffel Tower at sunset. Caption, family trip in Paris. Finally. No stress, no drama, #blessed, #family time. 247 likes, 32 comments, all gushing. I scroll through other photos. Champagne at a cafe. Meredith in a couture dress. Dad eating croissants. Not one mention of me. They know you're in the hospital, Rachel says gently. Grandpa called them. I stare at the photo. No stress, no drama. That's what I am to them. Stress, drama. I close Instagram. I don't cry. I don't have the energy. 4 days after surgery, my phone lights up. One missed call from Dad. 5, 20, 65. Then the texts. Grace, call me back. Important. Answer your phone. Grace, this is urgent. Call immediately. Mom, honey, call your father, please. Meredith, Grace, what did you do? Dad is freaking out. 65 missed calls, 23 texts. Not one asks how I am. Not one says we're sorry. Just we need you. I show Grandpa. His face darkens. They know. Know what? About the gift. Your grandmother's gift. And they just realized what they might lose. The truth. Grandpa pulls his chair closer. 22 years ago, when you were born, your grandmother and I opened an account in your name. We called it your Freedom Fund. How much? Enough to buy a small house or start a business or put a down payment on whatever dreams you had. My head spins. But Dad told me you didn't have money to help with tuition. Your father asked me for money for both your educations. I gave it. I wrote 2 checks, one for you, one for Meredith, same amount. Then where did my money go? I believe they spent it. Their kitchen renovation, designer bags, vacation fund. He pulls out his phone. This Freedom Fund, they didn't know about it. I never told them. This money was always meant to bypass them entirely, directly to you on graduation day. That's why they're calling. Yes, not for you, for the money. They arrive, they come the next afternoon. Mom sweeps in first. Grace, baby. We came as fast as we could. She leans down to hug me. I don't hug back. You came as fast as you could. 5 days after I nearly died. The flights were fully booked. Instagram says you posted from the Louvre yesterday. Mom's face flickers. Dad enters. Can't meet my eyes. Then Meredith, carrying shopping bags. Actually carrying shopping bags into a hospital room. Hey, Grace, you look better than I expected. Rachel makes a sound in the corner. Meredith, I say calmly. I had brain surgery. I know. That's so crazy, right? Anyway, we cut the trip short, so you're welcome. Silence. Then the door opens. Grandpa Howard. The temperature drops 10 degrees. Douglas. Grandpa's voice is ice. I see you finally found time in your schedule. If your family has ever come running back, not because they missed you, but because they needed something from you, drop "they came back" in the comments. I know that feeling. I know how it hollows you out. But here's the thing. What happened next in that hospital room changed everything. I'd been waiting my whole life to say what I was about to say. So hold on, because this is where it gets real. Dad tries first. Dad, can we talk about this rationally? Rationally? Grandpa's voice is quiet, which is worse than yelling. Your daughter collapsed on stage. She had a brain tumor. The hospital called you 47 times. We were on a plane. You weren't on a plane. You were at the gate. I talked to you, Douglas. You chose to board anyway. Mom steps forward. Howard, this is a family matter. Grace is family. She's my family. And for 22 years, I've watched you treat her like she doesn't exist. That's not true. We love Grace. You love what Grace does for you. There's a difference. Grandpa turns to Dad. Tell me, Douglas, when's Grace's birthday? Dad blinks. March. No, April. October 15th, I say quietly. It's October 15th, Dad. Grandpa continues. What's her favorite book? Her best friend's name? What job did she just accept after graduation? Silence. You flew back because you heard about the money, Grandpa says. Suddenly, after 4 years of ignoring her, you're concerned about her welfare. That inheritance belongs to the family, Mom says. That inheritance belongs to Grace. Then Mom's composure cracks. You want to know why I've always kept my distance from you, Grace? Because every time I look at you, I see her. Eleanor, your precious grandmother who spent 30 years making me feel like I wasn't good enough. I can't speak. And then she died. And I thought, finally, I can be accepted. But then you were born, Grace, and you looked exactly like her. I just couldn't. Mom, I say slowly, I'm not Grandma Eleanor. I know. Do you? Because I've spent my whole life paying for something I didn't do. She doesn't answer. I push myself up. Mom, I understand now. You had a painful relationship with Grandma. But that is not my fault. For 22 years, I've done everything right. Perfect grades. I worked 3 jobs. I showed up to every family event. I did all of that because I thought if I tried hard enough, you would finally see me. I turned to Dad. And you watched this happen for 22 years and said nothing. Grace, I didn't know how to what? Stand up for your daughter? I look at each of them. I don't hate you, any of you, but I also can't keep pretending this is normal. I can't keep being the invisible one. What do you want? Dad asks. I want you to see me as a person, not as a ghost, not as a burden. And if you can't, I meet his eyes. Then I'll mourn the family I wished I had, and I'll build a new one. I turn to Grandpa. I want to talk about Grandma's gift. He pulls out the manila envelope. This is yours. Your grandmother set it aside 25 years ago. I take it. I know what you're thinking, I say to my parents. You're wondering if I'll share it. If I'll bail out Meredith's wedding or pay for your next renovation. Mom starts to speak. I'm not going to do that. Grace. Meredith breaks her silence. That's so selfish. Grandma wanted me to have it. Not you, me. I look at Mom. I'm not taking this money to hurt you. I'm taking it because it's mine. Because Grandma wanted me to have options. To not depend on people who see me as an afterthought. Are we just supposed to lose you? Dad asks. You already lost me. Years ago when you stopped showing up. My voice softens. But I'm not shutting the door completely. If you want to be in my life, really in my life, you have to earn it. You have to see me as Grace, not as Eleanor's ghost, not as Meredith's backup, just me. And if we try, Mom's voice is small, then we can start over. Slowly, with boundaries. Meredith grabs her shopping bags and walks out. Mom is crying now. Real tears. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry, Grace. I know, Mom, but you have to get help. Work through whatever Eleanor made you feel so you stop projecting it onto me. She nods, leaves. Dad sits down beside my bed. Grace, I failed you. Yes, I should have protected you. He looks at me, really looks at me. I can't undo 22 years, but can I try to do better? Call me next week, I say. Ask me how I'm doing. And actually listen to the answer. He nods, squeezes my hand once. I will. Then he's gone too. 2 years later, I'm sitting in my classroom after the last bell. A knock on my door. Miss Donovan? It's Marcus, one of my quieter students. Can I ask you something? Of course. Did you ever feel like no one sees you? My heart clenches. Yes, for a very long time, I felt exactly like that. What did you do? I found people who did see me. My grandfather, my best friend. And eventually, I tapped my chest. I learned to see myself. That's it? That's a lot harder than it sounds. But once you know your own worth, you stop needing everyone else to tell you. He nods slowly. Thanks, Miss Donovan. After he leaves, I stay at my desk. On my phone, there's a photo I look at sometimes. Me at 6 years old holding my grandmother's hand. She's looking at me like I'm the most important person in the world. I used to think love was something you had to earn, work for, sacrifice yourself for. Now I know better. Love is who shows up. Love is who stays. And I don't need to keep setting myself on fire to prove I'm worth someone's warmth. I know my worth now. That's enough. 1 year after graduation, my phone rings. A number I haven't seen in months. Meredith. Grace, can we talk? I'm listening. Tyler left. Turns out his family didn't want a daughter-in-law from a family that abandons people in hospitals. She laughs, hollow. And I got into some debt. I thought Tyler would help, but she's crying. I don't know what to do. Why are you calling me? Because you're the only person who doesn't want something from me. Mom and Dad are furious. My friends only liked me because of Tyler's money, and part of me wants to say, now you know how it feels, but that's not who I want to be. Meredith, I'm sorry about Tyler. I'm sorry you're hurting, but I can't fix this for you. I can't pay off your debt or make Tyler come back. That's not my role anymore. Silence. Then why did you answer? Because you're my sister, and I wanted you to know that I don't hate you. I was terrible to you, she whispers. Yes. Can we ever be okay? I think about it. Really think. I don't know, but if you're willing to do the work, I'm willing to try. Really? Really. But Meredith, you have to actually change, not just say you will. I know. I hope so. What I learned. My family is complicated. It always will be. Dad calls every Tuesday. Mom sends cards on holidays. Careful and polite. Meredith is in therapy. We text sometimes. But my real family, they're the ones who showed up, the ones who stayed, Rachel, Grandpa, my students, and finally myself. I used to wonder why my mother couldn't love me. Now I understand. My mother wasn't a villain. She was a wounded person who never healed from her own pain. Psychologists call it projection, when someone's unresolved trauma spills onto someone else. She saw her mother-in-law in my face, and instead of dealing with that wound, she let it poison our relationship for 22 years. And me, my weakness was my desperation for approval. I kept believing that if I tried harder, sacrificed more, achieved enough, they would finally see me. That's called people-pleasing, and it's a survival mechanism. But as an adult, it nearly destroyed me. The brain tumor was the most terrifying thing that ever happened to me. But in a strange way, it was also a gift. It forced me to see my family clearly. It gave me permission to stop performing for people who weren't watching. So here's what I learned, and I hope you'll carry it with you. You can't earn love from people who aren't willing to give it. Stop setting yourself on fire to keep others warm, especially when they won't even look at the flame. Your real family isn't determined by blood. It's determined by who shows up when life gets hard. And finally, you are allowed to choose yourself. That's not selfish. That's survival. If you're in a situation like mine, if you're the invisible one, the forgotten one, the one who gives and never receives, I see you. And I hope you learn, like I did, that the only approval you truly need is your own. Thank you for staying with me until the end. If you have your own story about family, about boundaries, about learning to see your own worth, I'd love to hear it. Drop it in the comments. I read every single one. And if this story meant something to you, please like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. There's another story waiting in the description. Something tells me you'll want to hear it. Until next time.